Hi everyone, it's your favourite Atomic Blonde here with a review for Heretic. So yeah, sorry it's been a little while. Just it's that I guess it's that time of year. Also, as I sort of between contracts right now, so inevitably whenever I start working, I just get ill. So I literally went to go see Heretic the other weekend, and I have been ill since. I'm just about functioning again. So I wanted to drop on and talk about it while it's still remotely relevant. Yeah, so Heretic, for those that don't know, is another banger from A24 Studio, who have been obviously doing a lot of stuff in the horror space. And this stars an unlikely horror actor, really, I guess, Hugh Grant. Not really what he's known for, or certainly his early career. And the premise is that Hugh Grant is a character called Mr. Reed. Seems like a very nice, amicable chap. And at the start of the film, we're introduced to two ladies who are part of the Mormon Church, Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton. And they're obviously going around door knocking, trying to convert people to the religion. And I think and one of the Sister Paxton is quite new. She hasn't had any baptisms yet, as they call it, as basically they convert someone. And they've got a list of people who've expressed an interest that they'd be happy to talk to them. So the last name on the list is Mr. Reed. They go up to the house, knock on the door. Takes a little while for him to answer, and then Mr. Reed, Hugh Grant, answers the door. They start talking on the doorstep, saying, "Hey, we're from the Church of was it Latter-day Saints, I think, or something. And you requested some information to talk to us about our church." And he was like, "Oh yeah, come in." And the rules is that the female ladies, the sisters, aren't allowed to be on their own in a house with a man. So they say, like, do you have a partner or someone in the house? He's, "Oh yeah, my wife's here. Come on in. She's just baking in the kitchen." So the girls go in. They've arrived on bikes. The bike's been locked up outside the front of the house. He says to them as they walk in, "Oh, there's metal in the wall in the ceiling. Is that okay?" And they just go, "Yeah," because I think you wouldn't really think anything of it. But obviously, it's a bit of foreshadowing. So the girls go in, they sit down. He goes and gets some drinks. He's all very, affable. They start chatting and conversing about the Mormon religion, and he kind of gets up and says, like, he's been studying religion for a long time. Goes to a cupboard, brings out this huge Book of Mormon, is all notes and stuff in it, and the conversation gets a little bit tense. And after a while, they sort of bring up again, like, "Well, where's your wife? Because we've got strict rules." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm really sorry. Like, I'll go check on her." And he goes away, comes back, and on the tray he's got this candle and drinks, and they carry on chatting, and then things start getting more and more tense, and then he eventually blows out the candle. He disappears again, goes, I'll go get my wife, see if she'll come and talk to you." He's gone for quite some time, and Sister Barnes looks at the candle, turns it round, and the whole thing is his wife's been in the kitchen baking. She's making blueberry pie. When she turns the candle round, it's basically blueberry pie scented, like baking scented. So they're like, this is when they start panicking, going, "Right, we've got to get out of here. Something's really not right." So they try the front door, can't get out the front door. The lights keep going on and off, and he's like, "Oh, it's just the power." But basically, we sort of see that the house has sort of been locked down. It's all on this timer. So from here, the girls then go through, find Mr. Reed, and things just get strange from there on in. Mr. Reed starts talking about, he's playing The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies. Starts talking about the game Monopoly and all the different versions and iterations of that. And basically, he's been studying all these different religions and saying how there's 3,000 religions out there, but they all have these sort of common threads. So, but which one is the real religion, or who's the real God, if we've got all of these things to choose from? Obviously, by this point, these girls are really starting to freak out, and he's like, "Well, you can can leave any time you like. They're like, well, we've tried the front door, we can't get out the front door. And he's like, no, well, if you've looked at my house from the outside, you can see like it sort of backs onto it. I think it's a cliff, so you have to go doon to go out, as you see in the trailer. So this presented like 2 doors, and you kind of write belief and non-belief on the doors, and go pick one, and you can go, you can get out. So there's obviously conversations between the 2 sisters. You know, do they just tell it? Do they go through the door they think they want them to pick, or do they, you know, do they say what they think he wants to hear, or do they stick to their guns and that they are believers? And they end up going through a door into the basement where basically you can't get out, you can't go anywhere. And then from here on in, I don't want to go too much into it. I always try and give you fairly light spoilers, but this whole thing is about what is the ultimate religion, who is the ultimate God, what is the ultimate belief system. And this all kind of plays out to draw a conclusion, and he kind of sets clues and things for them to figure out until the end of the film. So I have to say, I really enjoyed this film. It wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be more along the lines of sort of Saw, or some sort of, you know, they almost get tortured, or they have to go through certain penances or something because of the religious tie-in. That it's kind of what happens, but isn't what happens. It's quite hard to describe without giving too much away. But I thought it was a really interesting film, very well written. Bear in mind, you've really only got 3 core characters, 3 actors carrying this whole thing. Must be made on a pretty small budget, which is great, and I think it's doing pretty well in the cinemas. All 3 actors are very, very solid. Hugh Grant is fantastic in this. He does creepy really well. So I missed his vocation. He was obviously always being the sort of posh kind of bumbling kind of guy. He's not in this at all. He's really solid in this film, and I think over recent years, like with his performances in like The Gentleman, and the other guy, which film was it, Operation something, you know, he's just played a completely different character set. And I sort of said to somebody the other day, I think he's like having a renaissance, because now he's older, you know, he's been able to sort of break that upper class stereotype, really. And like, I think really ironically, he sort of really broke out again in Paddington 2, which I absolutely love that film. I love 1 and 2 actually, but he is just hilarious in that film. He absolutely makes Paddington 2 with his narcissistic actor type role. But I think just showing the sort of breadth that he's actually capable of, even in being a kids film or family film, has really almost given him a launch pad to do all these other different roles. I mean, I don't think he kind of fell out of vogue, but it's definitely opened the doors for him to do lots of different types of films. And then I hope this is the start of many for him. Really enjoyable, not what I was expecting, solid performances. I think they walked a pretty fine line as well, that obviously the content is about religion and faith, and I don't, albeit I'm not religious myself, but I didn't really feel that, I don't know, maybe it might offend. I don't know if you are religious, but he is just basically sort of saying, I've looked at all this and this is the conclusions that I've drawn, and see whether they draw the same conclusions as him, really. But obviously he is kind of batshit as well, so as we find out, and what he actually thinks about all of this. So I don't think it heavily offend. I don't think, I mean, I'd love to hear from someone who maybe is Mormon or religious, and they've seen the film and what their take is and all this. But I think I thought it was done cleverly and quite respectfully. He's sort of not saying that these things don't exist, but yeah, quite interesting, very well done. I think the sort of Sister Barnes is probably can be a little bit annoying at times. And there's obviously a lot more to her character, and there's some backstory, but they don't even bother going into it in a good way. We know there's stuff going on. Turns out, say light spoiler, that she's got an implant, she's got a contraceptive, which obviously goes against the rules of the Mormon religion. So there's been something sort of going on with her. But these some things are sort of hinted at, but that's not what the focus of the film is, and it doesn't go off down all these rabbit holes, which is great. So very concise film, very enjoyable, amazingly well acted. As I say, basically three core actors. There's obviously some side players, but given the size and the scope, it just held your attention the whole way through. Some people will like the ending, some people won't. I thought it was okay. I mean, it's kind of horror tropey, I guess. You know, I don't want to say too much, but it did wrap it all up. So I was happy with that aspect of it. I know some people already said, "Oh, is there going to be a sequel?" I just don't see how, and we don't need one either. But yeah, I think a really, really well done horror film on this is the kind of stuff that we need. You know, reasonable budgets, good story, good plot, good characterization, fantastic acting. I really hope he's up for some awards for this, because it was just absolutely fantastic. So, as always, do like, share, and subscribe. Do let me know if you've been to see Heretic. Are you interested in going to see Heretic? Especially if you are religious, I'd love to know your thoughts on this film. Do leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Yeah, but go out, see it. Highly recommend this. So I'll be back with a couple of, I'm doing a few like just sort of smaller reviews at the moment. I'd say I'm not 100%. My concentration span really isn't lasting that long right now. So hopefully dropping a few reviews in consecutive days, a bit shorter than normal, until I'm sort of back up to speed and caught up on all the various things I need to watch. One thing about not being well is I can just sort of sit there and been binging some films and TV. So anyway, I will be back soon. There will be another review. I will be reviewing Venom, The Last Dance. So look out for that one. So you will take care now. Bye-bye.